Good evening, good evening, good evening. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another live edition of Pro Wrestling Talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I'm your host for this evening, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. It is Friday, May the 6th, 2022. Hope everybody's had a good week so far as we get ready to usher into the weekend. The month of May is here, pretty much first full week of May. Yeah, my favorite month of the year. So thankful to God for making it all the way to May. But anyway, tonight we're going to be talking about a few things. I'm going to recap the recent Stardom pay-per-view, Fukuoka Goddess Festival, that took place a couple of days ago, actually, and do a recap of that, which was a good solid show. It was a good solid show. All the Owen Hart Cup qualifiers have been completed, so now the actual tournament, the real tournament, starts next week. So I will go over the brackets for that. That's the AEW Owen Hart Cup. I'm going to talk a little bit about Forbidden Door as well, as that is completely sold out. I know there's, ticket resales still going on, but sold out like crazy. It was like in under 40 minutes for pre-sale, and even with the general on sale, it just sold out like that. But it doesn't surprise me, despite there not being any matches announced yet. It sold out quick. But I mean, hey, it's AEW's first real collaboration show with New Japan Pro Wrestling, so it's going to be a big deal. It's going to be a really big deal. But yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit. Also gonna, I guess, talk about the really weak go home week for WWE leading up to Wrestlemania Stanklash. Wacklash. I'm sorry. Backlash. Yeah. And just a heads up, I will be skipping that pay-per-view. I'm gonna go over it, but I won't be watching it. So just duly note that. Just a heads up. I will not be watching WrestleMania Wacklash. I'm so sorry. Stanklash. Backlash. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Just sometimes I forget. Please forgive me. Anyway, let's get this party started with Stardom's Fukuoka Goddess Festival pay-per-view that took place in Fukuoka. And it was a good solid match. There were 3 title matches. And so there were 7 total matches. 3 of them were title matches. Hey, Joe Valesco, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Yeah. Good to see you too. But yeah, Fukuoka Goddess Festival started off with a singles match. Started off with Waka Tsukiyama of Cosmic Angels taking on Hina of Queen's Quest. This was a pretty nice opening match. Honestly, I really thought Waka was going to pull it off. I thought she was going to pull it off. I was so bummed. I was really, really bummed that she wasn't able to pick up the victory, but she put up a great fight against Hina. That's one thing I will say is Waka Tsukiyama is getting better and better, and she's getting closer and closer to getting her first singles win. I honestly would have thought this would have been the best time for her to finally get her win, especially on a pay-per-view singles match, but Hina was able to get the victory, and she actually hit Waka with like a version of Big E's big ending. It looked very similar to the big ending. I don't know what they call hers, but that finisher she used on Waka was very similar to the big ending. But she hit that and was able to get the 1-2-3 and defeat Waka Tsukiyama. So still Waka Tsukiyama still winless, but she put up a really good effort. Really, really good effort. And she's getting better and better. So keep an eye on her. She's going to get that first win eventually. It's going to happen. She's going to get it eventually. All right, we had a 6-woman tag match. Afterwards, we had Stars going up against Oedo Tai. So we had Stars' Saya Ida, Hanan, and Momokogo going up against Oedo Tai's Rina, Saki Kashima, and Ruka. So this was a pretty decent 6-woman tag match. Very much back and forth. And of course, you know Oedo Tai is going to always do their shenanigans and antics and such. But you know something? I was not surprised with the outcome because, I mean, you got to think Rina and Hanan are sisters. So, of course, you know, having the two of them be a part of the finish makes the most sense. But Hanan was able to roll up Rina to get the 1-2-3, and Stars gets a big victory over Oedo Tai. So Saya Ida, Hanan, and Momokogo with a big, big victory over Oedo Tai. So kudos to them. I actually did not think they were going to pull it off. But hey, Stars. But that was a pretty good match. It wasn't too long, but it was a good match still. All right, we also had another 6-woman tag match. We had Queen's Quest versus Cosmic Angels. So we had Queen's Quest, Lady C, Azumi, and Utami Hayashishita taking on Cosmic Angels, Unagi Sayaka, Mina Shirakawa, and Tam Nakano. Now, Jushin Thunder Liger, first of all, was in attendance for this whole show as a special ambassador. So he was in attendance for this show. And Cosmic Angels dedicated this match to Jushin Thunder Liger. So they wanted to get this victory for him. And it was a very hard-fought match for Cosmic Angels. I mean, despite Queen's Quest having Lady C on their team, still Azumi and Utami Hayashishita still make that team look pretty strong. You can just ignore my dog. But yeah, still a pretty solid team. But this was definitely a match that Cosmic Angels wasn't going to stop at nothing to win. And sure enough, they were able to get the victory. Unagi Sayaka picked up the victory for Cosmic Angels, pinning Lady C after hitting kind of a version of a Blade Runner / Sister Abigail on Lady C, which, of course, in this scenario, Lady C is going to take the pin, unfortunately. But, like I said, I'm still banking on Lady C becoming Future of Stardom champion before November 14th this year. I'm still banking on it. I'm sticking to that. And so, yeah, Cosmic Angels got the victory, and they each had their own different Jushin Thunder Liger masks. So after the match, they showed their appreciation and respect for the great Jushin Thunder Liger, which, he retired a few years ago. So, yeah, it was just really good to see him there, was on commentary and just helping to represent Stardom. So definitely good to see him. And good victory by Cosmic Angels. Okay, we had the first of our 3 championship matches. We had the SWA Championship. So the champion, Donna Del Mondo's Toxic Spider, Thicla, defending against the leader of Stars, the icon of Stardom, Mayu Iwatani. Now, this was a very solid match, back and forth, hard hitting, and we really got to see a much fierce Mayu Iwatani, who really, really wanted to win this match and take the SWA title and defend it overseas. And sure enough, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy because Thekla really put up a solid fight against the icon of Stardom. But Mayu Iwatani was able to get the victory, hitting a moonsault on Thekla to get the pin and the 1, 2, 3. And Mayu Iwatani is now your new SWA champion, which makes Mayu Iwatani the second Grand Slam champion in Stardom history. That's right. Of course, the first was Io Shirai. Now the second, Mayu Iwatani. So congratulations to Mayu Iwatani on becoming Grand Slam champion. Now, I know there was a lot of speculation about what the right outcome of this should have been. Because, I mean, when you think about it, in Stardom, currently, there's not a lot of foreign talent. Because you have to remember, the rules for the SWA Championship is whoever the title holder is cannot defend it against somebody else of the same country of origin. So when you look at the Stardom roster, really the only foreign talent you really have, I mean, you have Thekla, who's Austrian, if I remember correctly. Shuri held the SWA title, but she held it as representing the Philippines because technically Shuri is half Japanese, half Filipino. So there's that. And then there's also Julia, which I believe she's part Italian, if I remember correctly. So those three ladies are really the only ladies that I could see originally holding that title. But now that Mayu Iwatani has that title, I believe they have plans for Mayu to travel to the States and actually defend the title overseas. Otherwise, they wouldn't have booked this to happen. So I'm under the impression that maybe we might see Mayu Iwatani on excursion overseas, whether it's the UK, whether it's the United States, whichever. But I think it's safe to say that Mayu Iwatani is going to be traveling overseas, defending the SWA title. So I dig it. I definitely dig it. I hope she comes to my area because I would love to meet Mayu Iwatani. But yeah, Mayu Iwatani, your second Grand Slam champion in Stardom history. It's amazing. Congratulations to her. It's crazy because I remember when she first started in Stardom, I think it was said that it took her like 10 or 11 months before she finally got her first win. It was crazy. So hopefully it won't take too much longer for Lady C to become a champion, which, Lady C already got her first win. But hopefully it won't take too long before Waka Tsukiyama gets her first win. Anyway, let's see. Next up, we had the big elimination tag match. This was pretty much a stable showdown. This was God's Eye versus Donna Del Mundo, elimination style match. So it's everybody of God's Eye, which is Ami Sourei, Shuri, Konami, and Mirai, going up against Donna Del Mundo's Julia, Mai Sakurai, Himeka, and Natsupoi. So, of course, in these type of elimination style tag matches, you can be eliminated by pinfall, submission, thrown over the top rope. and I believe DQ as well. So it was quite an entertaining match, and some of the eliminations and how they happened were actually kind of surprising. But the order of elimination first started with Mai Sakurai eliminating Ami Sourei. That kind of surprised me. That actually kind of surprised me. But it was a over the top rope style elimination. But yeah, so it started off Donna Del Mundo 4-3. And then Konami submits Natsupoi to even things up. Submits her kind of almost kind of like a version of a stranglehold in some sort of way, but had it locked in nicely on Natsupoi and was able to make her tap out. So it's now 3-3. And then we had a double elimination that took place over the top rope and on the apron between Himeka and Shuri. Of course, these two ladies recently battled in a World of Stardom Championship match, which, of course, Shuri beat her. But it looks like things aren't over between her and Himeka. And sure enough, double elimination took place. It was kind of a weird sequence. Originally, Shuri was trying to, I guess, German suplex Himeka off the apron. Himeka was holding on, and kind of Konami was kind of catapulted in a way into Shuri and Himeka, knocking them both off the apron, thus eliminating both ladies. So with that happening, it went down to 2-2. And then Julia and Konami went at it for quite a bit. And then both Julia and Konami get eliminated at the same time over the top rope and off the apron. So both of those ladies eliminated. So ultimately, it came down to Mai Sakurai of Donna Del Mundo and Mirai of God's Eye. And there was a sequence where Mirai had that Kimura, arm lock on Mai Sakurai. Mai Sakurai originally got to the rope. It looked like she got to the rope, but then Mirai was able to roll back into the, towards the middle of the ring and pretty much was able to get the submission victory then, the tap out then. But I gotta give them credit. I did not expect Mai Sakurai to be the last one left for Donna Del Mundo. That shocked me. That really shocked me. I was thinking it was going to be either Himeka or Julia, but it ended up being Mai Sakurai. So, I gotta appreciate kind of the push, the little push they're giving Mai Sakurai ever since she joined Donna Del Mundo. I can dig that. But right now, Mirai is riding on a lot of momentum, especially with her recently winning the Cinderella tournament for this year. So they're booking Mirai very strong. But Mirai gets the victory, and therefore God's Eye wins this elimination tag match. But very great match. Great showdown between these two stables. But yeah, got to give it up for Mirai being booked very strong. We also had the Goddess of Stardom tag titles on the line as the champions. Black Desire, Momo Watanabe, Starlight Kid, defended against Fukuoka Double Crazy, Koguma and Hazuki, which shout out to Hazuki and Koguma supporting new ring gear. And let me tell you, Koguma looked gorgeous in that new ring gear. Like, I've been pretty high on Koguma lately. But yeah, Fukuoka double crazy sporting some new ring gear. So I thought that was really cool. This was actually one of my favorite matches of the entire card. This was a solid tag team title match. Like, they really told a great story with this tag match. Like I said, Black Desire originally dethroned Fukuoka Double Crazy to win the Goddess of Stardom tag titles. But I tell you, this rematch was, if you ask me, this rematch was better than their first meeting. I mean, just both teams look very solid. Very solid. It was back and forth. Some high flying here and there, some double team sequences, Hazuki getting doused with water. But sure enough, at the end, Hazuki was able to pin Momo Watanabe with a Hazuki straw and win back the Goddess of Stardom tag titles for Fukuoka Double Crazy. That's right. They got the tag titles back, Koguma and Hazuki. So, wow, we got 2 title changes so far in this pay-per-view. And then afterwards, with the help of some translations on Twitter and such, so Mayu Iwatani was called down to the ring to, I guess, join them in the celebration because, I mean, 3 members of Stars just became champions. So there was that. And also Hazuki formally challenged Azumi for a shot at the High Speed Championship. So that was another thing that took place, her challenging Azumi, which should be good, which should be really good. So looking forward to see that. But congratulations to Fukuoka Double Crazy, Hazuki, and Koguma on winning back the Goddess of Stardom Tag Team Championships. And then we had the main event of Fukuoka Goddess Festival was for the Wonder of Stardom Championship. Saya Kamitani defends the title against Maika. And shout out to Maika on the special ring entrance with the bodyguards hosting her up on that platform. And also Maika sporting new ring gear as well. Not to mention, I love Maika's entrance music. Her entrance music is one of my favorites of Stardom. I hope she keeps that entrance theme because I love that entrance theme. But these 2 ladies know each other very well and have battled quite a bit lately. And definitely this match did not disappoint. I do feel for Saya Kamitani. She took quite a beating, especially after that apron powerbomb that Maika hit on her. I was like, geez, I hope Saya Kamitani was okay because she sold the mess out of that apron bomb. And just the way Maika hit it was just, ooh. You normally don't see a lot of those type of moves in Stardom, but when you do, it was crazy. But these ladies beat the crap out of each other. I mean, clotheslines, drop kicks, spinning wheel kicks. Maika hit a lot of clotheslines in this match. And it was just really back and forth. And Saya Kamitani showed a lot of resiliency in this match because Maika was hitting her with everything from the clotheslines to a Sazanka to just like pretty much just about everything. And even Saya Kamitani hit Maika with a Star Crusher or reversed into a Star Crusher and she still kicked out. But these ladies put on a great main event. But sure enough, after not only a 450 splash, But then right afterwards, a Phoenix Splash was able to put away Micah, and Saya Kamatani retains the Wonder of Stardom Championship. Now, apparently there was a stipulation with this match that if Micah won, then not only would she become champion, then Saya Kamatani could never use the Phoenix Splash again. But that didn't end up being the case because Saya won and retained. And then after the match, of course, she got on the mic and called out Mirai. So we know that Mirai won the Cinderella tournament, and her wish was a shot at the Wonder of Stardom Championship. And it looks like they're going to get ready for her to collect on that. So they're now setting up the Wonder of Stardom Championship match. Mirai, Saya Kamatani. We'll see what happens. Part of me hopes that Mirai doesn't dethrone Saya Kamatani. I really felt like Micah or somebody else like a Himeka should do it, but I don't know. Mirai has kind of been on a hot streak. So Mirai could be the one to dethrone Saya Kamatani. I hope not, but it could happen. We'll see how it goes. But overall, solid pay-per-view. Like I said, Jushin Thunder Liger was in attendance for this. And also on Japanese commentary after her match, Saki Kashima was on commentary as well. So that was pretty cool to see. But yeah, solid show. Like I said, my favorite match was the Goddess of Stardom tag title match. That was an excellent tag team match that I thoroughly enjoyed. But solid pay-per-view for Stardom. And not only that, another piece of news with Stardom is they've announced Stardom Flashing Champions, which will take place May 28th, which is a Saturday, in Ota. And this is where, they got 4 title matches announced for this show so far, May 28th. So they're going to have the Future of Stardom title on the line as Hanan will defend against Ruaka. They have the Artist of Stardom trios titles as Maihime Poi will defend against Momo Watanabe, Starlight Kid, and Saki Kashima. Ooh, that should be good. Mirai will have her title shot at this show, the Wonder of Stardom title match, Saya Kamatani defending against Mirai. And Shuri will defend the World of Stardom Championship against Risa Sera of Prominence. So those are 4 solid title matches announced. I hope they add the high speed title match because Koguma wants a shot. So hopefully we'll get to see Azumi versus Koguma as well. I think that should happen. But yeah, looking forward to that show. I know I'm going to be at Animazement during that weekend, but I'll definitely catch the archive of that, especially since that's Memorial Day weekend. So I look forward to catching the archive of that. But yeah, so Stardom with 2 back-to-back solid pay-per-views with the Cinderella Tournament Finals and Fukuoka Goddess Festival. Good stuff. Good stuff. And like I said, I do hope Stardom has some great plans for Mayu Iwatani now that she's SWA champion. And hopefully, we may see Mayu Iwatani in the States. I don't know. Impact, AEW, something. We'll see. Only time will tell. But that is it for Stardom. So AEW, let's take a look at the Owen Hart Cup. So all the qualifiers are in the books. So we just had our last 2 qualifier matches this week, which was Jeff Hardy versus I'm sorry. It was Jeff Hardy versus Bobby Fish. We had that. And we also had Dante Martin versus Ray Phoenix this past Wednesday, which was a phenomenal battle of high flyers. Like, I know a lot of people were saying, oh, that's not really a dream match, but come on now. That was a freaking excellent match. Let's just keep it real. Dream match or not, that was an excellent match between Ray Phoenix and Dante Martin. That could have gone either way. But that was a solid match. Very solid match. And then we had Yuka Sakazaki versus returning Riho, which was on Rampage earlier today. Great solid match. Was my favorite match on Rampage. But those ladies went at it. It's good to see the magical girl again. But Riho was able to get the victory with that kind of a SOS style, similar type of pin. But yeah, Riho qualifies. So the brackets are set with just a few more things to think about. So let's look at the women first. So the quarterfinal matchups will be Toni Storm versus Jamie Hayter, Riho versus Ruby Soho, Red Velvet versus Hikarushita, and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, versus the Joker. That's right. There is a Joker in this tournament, kind of similar to the casino battle royales that they usually do, but there's a Joker. And Dr. Britt Baker has to take on the Joker. Now, it's kind of interesting that she's going to be the one taking on the Joker. And this Joker could be anybody, but something tells me it's going to be a new signee. I mean, I was thinking maybe possibly could be Athena, aka Ember Moon, maybe Mia Yim, maybe even Deonna Purrazzo. Deonna Purrazzo. I mean, she just recently lost the ROH Women's Championship unification match, so hey, this could be a way that they keep Deonna Purrazzo in the picture. Put her in the tournament. Why not? I'm not saying that she'll end up defeating Britt Baker, but I think Deonna Purrazzo versus Britt Baker would be solid. Not to mention, I also feel like they fought each other before in ROH as well as part of the Women of Honor. So I wouldn't mind them revisiting that. But yeah, I'm thinking Athena, Mia Yim, Deonna Purrazzo, I think would be some good choices. But I think Dr. Britt Baker will advance. As far as Jamie Hayter, Toni Storm, probably Toni Storm, unless they really want to ignite potentially Britt Baker versus Jamie Hayter, which if both of those ladies won their matches, they would face each other in the semis. So that could happen. Riho versus Ruby Soho, that's a tough one. I know Riho just got back. That's a tough one. That could honestly go either way. Red Velvet versus Hikarushita. I don't see Red Velvet getting a victory unless either one of the other baddies like Kiera Hogan or Jade Cargill interferes, or unless Serena Deeb interferes. But I think Serena Deeb now is solely focused on Thunder Rosa after defeating Sheeta in the street fight. So I think she's going to be focused on Thunder Rosa now. But I'm picking Sheeta to advance, and the others, I'm not too sure, but I think at least Shida will advance to the semifinals. But who do I think is going to win? That's hard to say. That's hard to say who's going to win this tournament for the women. And the finals aren't until Double or Nothing. So I think we're going to have a great matchup regardless of who it is for Double or Nothing. But that's for the women. So let's look at the bracket for the men. So quarterfinal matchup, Darby Allin versus Jeff Hardy. That should be solid. Adam Cole versus Dax Harwood should be interesting. Kyle O'Reilly versus Ray Phoenix. Ooh, some of these matchups are intriguing. And then Samoa Joe will be taking on the Joker, whoever that is. There's a lot of speculation. Maybe it's Miro, a returning Miro. Maybe Cesaro, aka Claudio Castagnoli. Johnny Gargano, perhaps. You know, him and his wife, Candice LeRae, are free agents now. Candice LeRae's contract expired, so hey, maybe Johnny Gargano. I don't know. I don't know who that Joker could be. Not sure who the Joker could be, but I think the most ideal scenario would possibly be Miro, but it would suck for Miro to return and him to lose or Samoa Joe to lose. You know what I mean? I think Samoa Joe should definitely advance, but we'll see. We'll see. Ray Phoenix versus Kyle O'Reilly, that could go any way. Adam Cole, I think, will defeat Dax Harwood, though. I think Adam Cole will advance. Jeff Hardy, Darby Allin. Oh, man. That's going to be tough. That's going to be really tough. So, these are some very intriguing matchups for this Owen Hart Cup. And, of course, the finals. So, the finals for both brackets, women's and men's, will be settled at Double or Nothing. But yeah, definitely looking forward. Like I said, this tournament kicks off next week, so it should be good. Should be really good. So, couple of big things happen on Dynamite. The Blackpool Combat Club still looking very strong, defeating the Butcher and the Blade and Helico. Still looking very strong. And like I said, Wheeler Yuta is also going to be getting ready for the Best of Super Juniors tournament in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So he's going to be very busy. Know that we had Wardlow taking on the mystery opponent, which ended up being Morrissey, or also known as Big Cass. It was a good match. Wardlow did get the victory, although I really wanted to see more than just one powerbomb. He only hit him with one powerbomb, but did get the victory. And it looks like we are finally going to get Wardlow versus MJF. My guess is it's probably going to be at Double or Nothing, because they're going to have the contract signing and at Dynamite, I believe, which will be in Long Island, New York, next week, which is MJF's hometown. So they're going to have a contract for that, which is going to have, I'm pretty sure it's going to have a whole bunch of crazy stipulations that MJF will come up with. But overall, if Wardlow wins this match that they end up having, then Wardlow will be set free from the contract that he has under MJF. So we'll have to wait and see what this contract with crazy stipulations look like, but I'm pretty sure the match is probably going to take place at Double or Nothing. I mean, I feel like you might as well have this match at Double or Nothing. So that's what I'm expecting for Warlow and MJF to finally duke it out at Double or Nothing. But we'll see. We will see. It looks like the AEW World Champion had a little heel, possibly a heel turn, a heel out moment, talking bad about CM Punk and how he's going to destroy CM Punk. Uh-oh. No handshakes, just destruction. I don't know. Could they be teasing a Hangman Page heel turn, perhaps? Or maybe, I don't know. I know there's a lot of speculation that when CM Punk wins the championship, which he will eventually win the championship, that maybe CM Punk turns heel in the process. I don't know, but only time will tell. Only time will tell. Of course, we had Jericho versus Santana, which, of course, Jericho did get the victory. Of course, there was some interference and shenanigans and such, which, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. These two factions are going to be feuding for a while. And, you know, with Eddie Kingston pretty much going to a much darker side, to a very much darker side, it's only a matter of time before he gets his hands on Jericho again. But, hey, Super Treybo, what's up? Hey, Jason, what's up? Who do you think would win in a WWE match? Fun question. Evolution, Orton, Triple H, Batista, or the Panthers, Luke Kuechly, Cam Newton, and Greg Olson? Oh, man. Panthers would get destroyed. The only one that would be able to put up a fight would be Luke Kuechly. Other than that, Evolution would destroy the Panthers. That's not even a fair matchup. I mean, Luke might do a little something, but that's not even a fair matchup. Because, shoot, Orton's still going strong. Batista, I mean, he's doing movies and such. I mean, Triple H, you know, he's been dealing with some health issues. But it's still kind of one-sided. It's still kind of one-sided. But no, I'd say Evolution. But Luke Kuechly would put up a good fight. He would put up a good fight, for sure. But yeah, we thought on Dynamite, that maybe, just maybe, Julia Hart was going to finally turn on the Varsity Blondes. Especially with this segment, Varsity Blondes, Brian Pillman Jr., with Coach John Harbaugh in attendance. Because apparently Brian Pillman and John Harbaugh used to be roommates. But yeah, called out the House of Black for all the torment that they've done and such, and you know, the whole blackness to the face of Julia Hart. And of course, you know, the House of Black ended up getting the upper hand, and it looked like Julia was going to turn, but she didn't. You know, that was a nice little tease, though. It was a nice little tease. But she didn't complete the turn. And sure enough, Death Triangle came out to the rescue. And the House of Black retreated. But like I said, in due time, Julia Hart's going to complete that turn and join the House of Black. I feel it coming. I feel it coming. That was a little tease, but I feel it coming. So we got to be a little bit more patient. But we had a segment. Of course, you know, we had the Rey Fenix, Dante Martin qualifier, which was really solid. Rey Fenix got the victory for that. But we had a segment with Thunder Rosa calling out Serena Deeb. They had a moment. And sure enough, for Double or Nothing, it's been announced that Serena Deeb will get her title shot against Thunder Rosa. So we got that to look forward to at Double or Nothing. That should be good. That should be really good. I'm looking so forward to that. I know Serena Deeb's been on a hot streak. She's been the number one ranked for a while. You know, she just finished up her showdown with Shida. So this is Serena Deeb's time. I don't see her dethroning Thunder Rosa. Not quite yet, but should be a solid match when the time comes. So add that on Double or Nothing. It should be good. And got to give a shout out to AEW for making this match the event of Dynamite. They had the ROH Women's Championship Unification match as their main event. The interim champ, Mercedes Martinez, the Latina sensation, taking on the ROH Women's World Champion, the Virtuosa, Diana Purrazzo. And this was a great match. Definitely back and forth. These ladies looked very solid. Very, very solid. But got to give it up for Mercedes Martinez, locking in that Romero Dragon Sleeper on Diana Purrazzo, getting her to tap out. And there you have it. Mercedes Martinez is your new unified Ring of Honor Women's Champion. And good sign of respect afterwards from both ladies. But as I mentioned before, I don't think this is the last that we've seen Diana Purrazzo in an AEW ring. For sure. For sure. But yeah, Mercedes Martinez stands tall. And like I said, that was a great match. Was looking forward to that. But yeah, very good stuff. And I'm hoping we'll either get to see some new AEW six-man tag titles, trios titles, or they'll bust back out the ROH six-man tag titles. Word is supposedly they want to wait until Kenny Omega returns before introducing six-man tag titles, which is fair. But I am very confident that when the time comes, they will have a good, solid number of trios, teams to compete for said six-man tag titles. Should be exciting. And, you know, Kenny Omega's recovery's been going good. So, honestly, if you ask me, I'm pretty sure Kenny Omega is going to be good in time for Forbidden Door. Even if he doesn't wrestle, I'm pretty sure he's going to make an appearance of some sort at Forbidden Door. So, we'll see what happens. But Forbidden Door sold out. So when pre-sale hit, pre-sale sold out in under 40 minutes, which, of course, there were scalpers, which, you know, scalpers suck. Scalpers ruin it for everybody, especially for those that actually pay to go and actually plan on going to the shows. But, you know, scalpers buy up the tickets and then try to resell them for an excruciating high amount of money, which is ridiculous. But a lot of people believe that Forbidden Door wouldn't sell out, and sure enough, it did. Even though a single match hasn't even been announced yet, this event's sold out. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. I mean, it's really crazy with this being a pay-per-view right after Double or Nothing. So it's going to be interesting. Super Trebo says, Jason, I missed the 2011-2015 CM Punk era. I feel like that was when wrestling in WWE was Lash really good. Those CM Punk storylines with Cena and other WWE stars were awesome back 2012 to 2015. Yeah, those were good. Indeed. Indeed. And he's got a little something good going in AEW currently. And, but at the same time, it says a whole lot when AEW and what they have going was enough to help revive CM Punk's love of pro wrestling. That says a lot. That really says a lot. I mean, some say it would have been nice if WWE did that, but AEW did. So we'll just have to see what happens, but I am pretty sure that at some point CM Punk will be AEW World Champion before he calls it quits or before he leaves the company or whatnot. But yeah, CM Punk's that dude. He's that dude. But and of course there was Rampage, which had a pretty good tag match with the ladies. Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter going up against Ruby Soho and Toni Storm. That was a good, solid match. Of course, Toni Storm with a big victory over Britt Baker, which is crazy. Britt Baker hadn't been pinned ever since Riho, that was a good long while ago. So got to give it up for Toni Storm getting some momentum. Her and Ruby Soho getting momentum going into the Owen Hart Cup tournament. I was really bummed to see JD Drake get squashed by Hook. I mean, JD Drake did get in his chops, but still, Taz mission, he tapped out pretty much instantly. So dang, both Anthony Henry and JD Drake squashed by Hook. They're the workhorsemen. That was a real bummer. Nothing against Hook, but that was a real bummer. Seeing him squash JD Drake and Anthony Henry, ridiculous. Tony Nese was challenging Danhausen, and it looks like next week we're gonna get the TNT Championship match. Scorpio Sky defending against Frankie Kazarian. So he's gonna honor his word and give him his title shot. So that should be good. And like I said, Yuka Sakazaki versus Riho was my favorite match on Rampage. Riho got the victory to qualify. And it was also a solid main event between Konosuke Takeshita taking on Jay Lethal. Put up a great fight, even though he was pretty much outnumbered. Hit the running high knee, but of course, Sanjay Dutt had to interfere and distract the ref. But Jay Lethal did eventually get the victory after a lethal combination. They beat down Takeshita. Best friends came out, try to even the odds. Of course, they ended up getting destroyed by Satnam Singh. Orange Cassidy was going to get up on the apron, threw his glasses at him. He broke his sunglasses, and it looked like they were about to, have a moment where Orange Cassidy was getting ready to put his hands in his pockets, but dropped down. Samoa Joe came out, had the metal pipe, got held back by security, which, typical. And that's how they ended Dynamite. So still a lot of heat and tension building up with the storyline between Samoa Joe and Jay Lethal. And who knows? Maybe, what if Jay Lethal ends up being the... Yeah, you know what? What if Jay Lethal ends up being the Joker against Samoa Joe? That's not exactly impossible. That'd be quite a setup. Well, what if Jay Lethal's the Joker? It's possible. But overall, a pretty decent week for AEW. Definitely a decent week. Next week, Ricky Starks is going to give Jungle Boy a FTW championship match. And they're going to get started on the Owen Hart Cup tournament matches. So it should be good. They'll be in Long Island, New York next week. Okay. I guess let's talk about WWE. Oh my goodness. This was a craptacular go-home week for WWE leading up to Wrestlemania Stanklash. I'm sorry, Wrestlemania Wacklash. Dang it, I keep messing that up. WrestleMania Backlash. Sorry about that. Yeah. This was quite a pretty bad go-home week. I mean, Veer Mahan destroyed another jobber. Ezekiel and the Street Profits teamed up and lost, which I would have thought originally it looked like they were turning the Street Profits heel, but of course they lost to KO and the Alpha Academy. But they really were onto something when they were kind of showing some signs of a heel turn for the Street Profits, but of course they didn't capitalize on it. AJ Styles defeated Damian Priest, and therefore his match against Edge at WrestleMania WrestleMania Wacklash. Dang it, I keep messing that up. WrestleMania Backlash, Damian Priest will be barred from ringside for the match between AJ Styles and Edge. They had Miz TV, had Mustafa Ali. Of course, he got trolled hard with, not a working mic, and he got trolled. And then this all leaded into a 2-on-1 handicap championship contender match. Miz and Theory versus Mustafa Ali. So you bring the guy back, and already you're putting these dang on shenanigans with Mustafa Ali, who wanted out of the company, but yet wasn't honored. So I think it's not going to get any better for Mustafa Ali. Super Trebo says, you know what's funny but made me mad, Jason? I was talking Panthers and NFL with someone, and somebody told me, honestly, he thinks the Panthers and Falcons are just jobber teams for the NFL. I was mad. Well, I mean, one, definitely use that as motivation. And secondly, whoever this wasn't exactly wrong. Way I see it, bro, use it as motivation. But they're not exactly wrong. I mean, the Panthers, 2 back-to-back 5-win seasons. I mean, he kind of has a point. The Falcons, he kind of has a point, but all I say is use it as motivation. Use it as motivation. That's all I can say. Super Trebo, use it as motivation. We had a bunch of 24/7 title changes. Nikki Ash, Dana Brooke. Oh my goodness. Cedric Alexander got fed to Bobby Lashley. And surprisingly, the main event was actually a 6-woman tag team match. Becky Lynch, Sonya Deville, and Rhea Ripley against Asuka, Bianca Belair, and Liv Morgan. Was very shocked that was the main event. And that was Asuka's in-ring return. Liv Morgan got the pin for her team. Would have liked to have seen a little bit more Asuka. I would have liked to have seen Asuka return in a singles match instead of a 6-woman tag match. But, yeah. So, Raw was bad. Although they did have a good segment with Doudrop and Nikki Ash after Nikki Ash lost the title. So it looks like maybe Nikki Ash is going to finally ditch the superhero gimmick and maybe join under the wing of Doudrop. I mean, they're both Scottish. Why not help out one another? Super Trebo says, it would be cool to see CM Punk win the title one more time right before he retires, Jason. Also, it'd be nice if he got the WWE title, but no, Vince won't let that happen. Oh, yeah. Him going back to WWE, that bridge has been burned. Yeah, that bridge is burned. Especially after the pipe bomb, that bridge is burned. That ain't happening. Would be nice, even if he became Hall of Famer, but nah, that bridge has been burned. For sure. NXT 2.0, that special spring break-in, was actually okay. They had a solid triple threat match for the NXT North American Championship. Cameron Grimes, Solo Sikoa, and Carmelo Hayes. That was a great, solid match. Shoot. It was good to see all three showcased well. Of course, Cameron Grimes was able to get the victory. But great way to kick off NXT 2.0. I will give him credit on that. Nathan Frazier got his match with Grayson Waller. Also a pretty solid match. I will give him that. That was also a very solid match. Of course, he had a little help from air horn from Andre Chase of Chase University and was able to hit a beautiful Phoenix Splash. So Nathan Frazier picking up a big victory over Grayson Waller. So that was nice. Tony D'Angelo and Santos Escobar and their posse, clan, whatever, had a little sit down. It was kind of boring. Personally, I thought it was boring. Let's see. Mandy Rose got really serious sunburn from the tanning bed that Wendy Chu altered the settings. JC Jane and Gigi Dolan had their shoes and car keys stolen by Roxanne Perez and Wendy Chu. Dang. Roxanne Perez just got there and already she's in a comedy segment. It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. Like, what the heck? But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens because Roxanne Perez is going to be in the breakout tournament, the women's breakout tournament. Of course, we had Cora Jade teaming up with Nikita Lyons. They went up against Natalya and Lash Legend. So a good match from both teams. Everything was, going well. And even for Natalya and Lash Legend, they had some momentum, but then Natalya accidentally kicked Lash Legend, and it pretty much spilled the end for that team as Cora Jade and Nikita Lyons were able to get the victory. And thus, Nikita Lyons, still undefeated, still very strong. And of course, Nikita Lyons is going to be in this breakout tournament. As a matter of fact, I'm curious, did they even announce the bracket? I want to see the bracket. They haven't posted the bracket yet? What the heck? I want to see the bracket. They don't have the bracket up. So they don't have the bracket up, but they have the competitors up for this breakout tournament. So the women's breakout tournament has Kiana James, Ariana Grace, Sloane Jacobs, Nikita Lyons, Fallon Henley, Tatum Paxley, Roxanne Perez, and Lash Legend. I think either Ariana Grace or Kiana James, one of the two. I think it's Ariana Grace is Santino Morella's daughter. So be interesting to see how she does. Fallon Henley, she's been alongside Briggs and Jensen. Tatum Paxley, we've seen quite a bit. Like I said, Lash Legend as well. Personally, who do I think is going to win this tournament? My guess is it's either going to be Nikita Lyons or Roxanne Perez. And who knows? Maybe they'll both be in the finals against each other. But I'm picking either Nikita Lyons or Roxanne Perez to win this NXT breakout tournament for the women. But should be interesting. That tournament starts next week, I believe. Yeah, that tournament starts next week. You had a really solid tag team match between the Viking Raiders and the Creed brothers, and it was all going so well, especially for both of the teams, until Roderick Strong decided to interfere, give Eric a running knee, and pretty much help the Creed brothers get the victory. Creed brothers weren't too happy about it once they saw the footage of Roderick Strong interfering. So we'll have to see what happens. But if you ask me, I'm pretty sure Diamond Mine is going to be disbanded. It's only a matter of time before Diamond Mine is disbanded. Just give it time. Give it time. Not only that, Roderick Strong has already requested his release. I don't know if it's I think it's probably denied, but he did request his release. So we'll see what happens with that. But I think it's only a matter of time before Diamond Mine is no more. But we'll see what happens. And of course, the main event was Bron Breakker defending the NXT Championship against Joe Gacy. Joe Gacy had quite a good showing, even though I hate the gimmick. He had a good showing in this match, but Bron Breakker was able to hit a devastating spear to get the 1, 2, 3. Was able to retain, but then afterwards got attacked by the hooded cult members as the show went off. After the show went off the air. So it looks like things aren't over between Bron Breakker and Joe Gacy. There was also a segment with Indy Hartwell and Duke Hudson. Looked like Duke Hudson was about to kiss Indy, but nah, she shut that down instantly. So, but yes, it's interesting because remember, Dexter Lumis and Persia Pirotta both got released. So, but NXT 2.0 was decent. That was decent. That was probably the only bright spot of this go home week. NXT UK. NXT UK was all right. They had Tiger Turan versus Tate Mayfairs, which Tiger Turan got the victory, which I'm telling you right now, I'm pretty dang on sure that it's Amir Jordan under that mask. I mean, they already had a segment with Kenny Williams trying to track down Tiger Turan and such. You have to remember, Kenny Williams defeated Amir Jordan in a loser leaves NXT UK. So I'm pretty sure this is just Amir Jordan back as a masked Tiger Turan. So that I'm putting my money on that. They had Lash Legend on the Supernova 11 sessions, which was so stupid. That whole segment was just dumb. That was they could have had another match instead of that stupid segment. Like, why even have her on there for that? Like, that was so dumb. That Supernova 11 sessions. That's so stupid. Damon Kemp debut, defeated Danny Jones, and then got jumped by Shaw Samuels after the match. Although I hope they give Damon Kemp a better finisher. All he did was just a slight little bitty running power slam. That's all. That's it. So pretty much Braun Strowman's finisher. That's it. So kind of a lame finisher for him. So hopefully that changes. And then the main event was a darkness match. What was it? It was a darkness match. It was Meiko Satomura defending the NXT UK Women's Championship against Isla Dawn, which, I mean, there was really nothing special about this match that made it significant as a World of Darkness match. All it was just the lights were dimmed down and it was a street fight. That's pretty much all it was. There was nothing that special about this. I mean, maybe there was a little bit of smoke here, but it's not like anything crazy happened to really make this match special. But these two ladies duked it out, brawled it out. I mean, there was even a sequence with Isla Dawn choking out, trying to blind Meiko Satomura with a piece of Danny Luna's hair. That was weird. Really, really weird. But it was back and forth. Meiko Satomura hit a sick Death Valley driver onto the chair and then hit a Scorpio Rising to pick up the victory and retain the NXT UK Women's Championship, which, you know, I'm not surprised. Like I said, I think either a returning Aoife Valkyrie or a returning Blair Davenport. Either of those two ladies, I feel like, should be the ones to dethrone Meiko for the title, personally. But we'll see. Or see. Maybe Jenny will get another shot at some point. But personally, I think it should be either a returning Aoife Valkyrie, whenever that is, or Blair Davenport. So now that's twice now that Meiko's defeated Isla Dawn. So we'll see who they have in store for Meiko Satomura to feud with next. But she is still your NXT UK Women's Champion. SmackDown. SmackDown trash. I mean, oh man. So SmackDown. They had Charlotte and Aaliyah, which was dumb, which only led to a brawl between Ronda Rousey and Charlotte. Dumb. You had a tables match, Ridge Holland and Sheamus against the New Day, which, of course, Butch finally shows up again and pretty much helps turn things around, and Sheamus and Ridge Holland get the victory. Shayna beat Sasha Banks. Of course, with the help of Natalya. RK Bro and Drew McIntyre had that face off with the Bloodline, which only led to a brawl, as expected. You had Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura, and of course, he wins by countout after hitting a haluva kick at the last moment on Shinsuke outside the ring. So you mean to tell me y'all can have him beat Shinsuke Nakamura by countout, but yeah, you have him run away like a freaking coward when he faces Drew McIntyre? Like, how messed up is that? So you can have him beat Shinsuke Nakamura by countout at the last second, but you have him running away from Drew McIntyre in like what, 3 out of the 4 matches? You have him run from Drew? Come on now. Come on. See, I hate what they're doing with Sami Zayn. I hate it. I don't mind him being a heel, but I hate that they're using him to be a coward heel when he's such a phenomenal wrestler. Like, I hate what they're doing with Sami Zayn. I despise it. Like, you have him beat Shinsuke, which it looked like they were going to put him back into the mix. And then you have Sami Zayn beat Shinsuke by countout, of all ways, at the last second. But before that, he's been running from Drew McIntyre, and it took having to have like a 4th match in a steel cage for him to finally get pinned. Like, I'm sorry, but that's so dumb. That's so dumb. Oh, I can fight and beat Shinsuke, but I run from Drew McIntyre. Come on now. That's so stupid. Well, yeah, that's your go home week. That's your go home week. Once again, no Xia Li. And they have Lacey Evans do part 5 of her story, and then they just have her, right afterwards, she just shows up. She was there the whole entire time, and she just shows up, maybe greets a fan or two, and then cut the camera to the announce team. Like, waste of a segment there. What was the point of doing that if you weren't going to do anything with her? What's the point of having her come out to greet the crowd? Like, really? No Xia Li. Like, that's your go home. That's your go home week for WWE. And you know what? Not a single bit of it helped WrestleMania Stanklash, forgive me. WrestleMania Backlash be appealing. I mean, look at this card. 6 matches. 4 of them are rematches. And only one of them is a championship match. You only have 1 title match this entire card. Look at this craptacular card. Happy Corbin versus Madcap Moss. Whoop-de-doo. They've already been brawling quite a bit, so, I guess we're just going to have a match. I mean, all Madcap Moss really did on SmackDown was just diss Baron Corbin. So, I mean, they brawled enough to the point where I really don't need to see a match between those two. Bobby Lashley versus Omos. Rematch. Don't care. AJ Styles versus Edge. I mean, It's a rematch. And you know, the only difference is Damian Priest is barred from ringside. I mean, the only thing I could see happening is maybe he still tries to interfere later and, you know, Finn Balor shows up to even the odds. But that's it. There's nothing more special about that. Not to mention the Too Sweet moment that they had on Raw, they edited that out on the archives. So if you want to try to see that on Hulu or in the highlights, they cut that part out. Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins rematch. The one title match, the SmackDown Women's Championship, Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey, I Quit match, rematch, and it's the only title match on the card. Which I don't care about either of those two. And then apparently the main event is the 6-man tag, Drew McIntyre, RK Bro versus the Bloodline. That's the main event. Really, that's the main event. I'm sorry, but this card is trash. And I refuse to watch it. I'm skipping this pay-per-view. I mean, y'all have to think about it. This is Peacock exclusive. Aside of that is a pay-per-view. You have to think. You know, back then, how much did WWE pay-per-views usually cost? What, 40, 50, 60 bucks? Would you honestly, if Peacock wasn't a thing, would you honestly pay 60 bucks for that craptacular card? I hope not. But I'm sorry, that's a terrible card. 6 matches, 4 of them are rematches, and 1 of them is a title match. Everything else is a non-title match, but 1 match. Oh, and they announced SmackDown, or the women's tag team titles will be on the line, but on next week's SmackDown. Y'all could have had that at WrestleMania Backlash for another championship. You could have had the U.S. title defended. You could have had the Intercontinental Championship defended. But you have 1 freaking title match on this card. Oh, but Blitzball champ, WrestleMania Backlash usually has rematches from WrestleMania. That's no excuse. Look at that card. Look at it. There's no excuse. That is a terrible card. There's no way that you can sit there, anybody can sit there and convince me that that is a good card. There's no way. No way. So, if anything, the only thing I plan on doing is I may pay attention to, like, you know, the Discord that I'm in or Twitter and just find out the results that way. Because I refuse to watch either of these matches. I refuse to. So, with that being said, let me go over my predictions for WrestleMania WrestleMania Stanklash. Jeez, I keep messing that up. WrestleMania Backlash. Happy Corbin versus Madcap Moss. Don't care. Bobby Lashley versus Omos. Don't care. AJ Styles versus Edge. Damian Priest barred from ringside. Don't care. Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. Don't care. SmackDown Women's Championship I Quit match. Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey. Definitely don't care. The main event, 6-man tag. Drew McIntyre and RK Bro versus the Bloodline. A million times don't care. That's my prediction for this pay-per-view. This waste of a pay-per-view. But like I said, it's all good. Thankfully, this is on a Sunday. This is on Mother's Day. So, just means I emphasize spending extra time with my family, with, celebrating my mom and just checking out other stuff. Shoot, I'll probably check out some more Stardom stuff, some Pro Wrestling Noah, some Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. I think Impact Wrestling has a Under Siege as well. I might even check that out. But as far as this WWE pay-per-view, you can forget it. Y'all let me know how it is if you want, but I will be skipping WrestleMania Backlash. I'm sorry, WrestleMania Stanklash. Jeez. I keep messing that up. Forgive me. WrestleMania Backlash. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I have. Like I said, kudos to Stardom on another successful pay-per-view. I know we got the Best of Super Juniors from New Japan Pro Wrestling getting geared up. Capital Collision is right around the corner as well. So the Owen Hart Cup tournament's about to start next week. So got some exciting things there. I wish I could say the same thing about WWE, but nah. But we'll see what happens after WrestleMania Backlash. I'm sorry, WrestleMania Stanklash. Dang it. We'll see what happens after WrestleMania Backlash. But I won't be watching it. Anyway, that concludes this episode of Pro Wrestling Talk. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are. What did y'all think about the Stardom pay-per-view Fukuoka Goddess Festival? What do you think about the Owen Hart Cup tournament brackets? Who's your favorite to win? What do you think about the matchups? Are you shocked that Forbidden Door has sold just like that? And are you actually checking out the WrestleMania pay-per-view or the WrestleMania Backlash Backlash pay-per-view? And if you are, have fun. That's all I can say. I'm sorry that y'all are gonna watch it, but y'all do you. Y'all do you. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You know the deal. Thank you so much for watching. This has been another Pro Wrestling Talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, grandmothers, great-grandmothers, aunts, all the mother figures out there. Hope y'all have a blessed weekend, and I will see y'all next time. Love y'all. God bless. Peace.